So before we move into that, let me ask you this. Based off what you saw this week, what are the important things for Auburn to address to change the trajectory of this week? Or do you think it's as simple as some of these things you can't help, like the energy level dropped off because they had already won it, or things like, you'd hate to think that's the reason, and maybe it is, but what in your mind is something you look at and say, Auburn's got to do this better?
Yeah, well, I think the energy thing's a valid point. We talked about that with our Concord Club this week. The rest was a factor, but I think that really is limited to Texas A&M. On the road against a matchup historically Auburn and Bruce Pearl have not done well against, with A&M and Buzz Williams, who are incredible team, incredible coach of the sport. I think that's totally fair, but I think A&M played a great game and they schemed Auburn well. As far as yesterday in the Alabama game, we said it after the win in Coleman Coliseum, these two teams are far and away some of the best teams in college basketball. It took extra time for them to determine who would win yesterday. But I think that if we're talking strictly from a basketball standpoint, the thing that has changed the most in the last week or week and a half is rebounding. And it just doesn't seem like the front line for Auburn is getting the rebounds we saw them getting when they were so dominant in the middle and early part of their SEC season run. I think Bruce Pearl mentioned that a bunch yesterday. Janai Broom mentioned how he hasn't had some double-doubles lately, and his rebounding has been off. I think for those teams or those players of Auburn's main rebounders to figure out what they need to work on in terms of getting more rebounds, not giving as many shots back to the opponent, will be a big point of emphasis, because those are the kind of things that lose you games in March. And so I think that the coaches know that, and they have more points than I do about what's not working, what is working. And they'll be all over it this week and into the tournament, I'm sure. But I think there's plenty to talk about of what didn't go right, what didn't go wrong. But I think, like we were just talking about with the body work, so much has gone right for Auburn this season and this coaching staff that I trust them.
I will say this, you already hit on a few of the points. It goes back to what I talk about and emphasize in every post-game show, the big three things: rebounds, turnovers, and free throws.
Sure.
Rebounds being the biggest, as you kind of already talked about. Free throws, they're free for a reason. They change the course of games. They change the outcomes of games. Please, free throws. It's not that. It's free. Let's do it. Come on. Okay. They know it. They understand it. They know the assignment. I don't need to repeat it to them, but I'm going to do it for the sake of everybody listening and watching here, because I know that's the question we're asking. Either way, so we're going to move forward. Congrats to Texas A&M and Alabama for getting, a very hard-earned quad win over the best team in the land. You can only hope a few times to catch us, and do it while you can.
I think I still saw a banner in Neville Arena yesterday, though.
I think I still saw the banner. I think I still saw a locked up number 1 seed. I still think I see possible overall number 1 seed. I mean, okay, anyway.